Okay, so the project started. This is with this bottle. I'll take a bit of blue tack off. Not quite sure what it is. I got it from the local pub. I think it's a gin bottle, although it says Jack Daniels on the top. Anyway, nice flat-ish bottle. You can do this with round bottles, but it's obviously a lot more difficult. I've decided to use the Pebeo 160 Vitrea paints. This is because they're oven bake, and I think I'm going to want to put this outside when I've finished it. So if I use that oven bake paint, it'll stand up to the weather, so I've got the choice of having it inside or outside. Again, you can do the project with other paints, but if it was, say, the Vitral Pebeo paints, then you'd want to keep that inside. But the Vitrea 160 oven baked ones should be capable of standing up to the weather. I've already made a start. I've used the outliner, but I did use it from a bag, I admit. I didn't use it from the tube. And I've simply outlined the main pieces onto a piece of spare glass. Now, done in the normal way, putting the design underneath the glass, blue tacking it down, and then outlining. If you haven't outlined before, we've got lots of other videos. I'll try and link to one which shows you how to outline. Now, this outliner isn't peelable. Some outliners are. This one isn't made as a peelable outliner, but if you do this within a day of outlining it, don't leave it any longer, and if you peel it off very carefully, it will come off and we will be able to stick it on the bottle. So I've started, I think it was this one, yeah, I've started taking it off. I'm using a craft knife, but I'm using the blunt side, so I'm not cutting through the outliner, and it's a mixture of pulling and getting the knife underneath. Now, it's going to take some time to do, so don't try and rush it. Just want every little bit off without stretching it too far. Now, we are going to be left with some odd bits which won't be joined to the others. Don't worry about that. We can sort that. Now, this is going to take me a little while to get it all loose. So come back and join me when I've got this first one done. Well, as you can see, I've finished taking it off and I've placed it upside down on this cloth. The only bits I've got left are this eye and the 3 buttons, but we'll worry about those. Placing it down upside down like this just gives me a chance to make sure everything's roughly in the right place. Now, to get it correct, I think we're going to go about there, and I'm hoping, there we go. That should now be on there quite firmly, and I can just lift over these last little bits. I have my design ready just so I can try and get that eye in roughly the right place. Are they joined or are they separate? They're separate. Okay. Here's the eye, and one right in the middle. Two. Oops. 3 buttons. There we go. Right, quite happy with that. And obviously I'm going to carry on and do the other 4 sides as well in exactly the same way. Now, a couple of things to mention. One, if it doesn't go down properly, don't worry, you can always lift it back up again. 2, if you get any breaks while you're doing it, don't fret. When you put it back on here, you join those breaks together. Absolutely fine. I have got more outlining I want to do, but I just thought the main bit for the main design on each side, I would do like this. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be able to get the design behind. Right, let me carry on, do those other 4, and we'll come back again. Okay, so as you can see, I've put all 4 of the major bits on, and now I'm just getting ready to do some extra piping. Now I've moved the outliner out of the tube and into a piping bag because I prefer that, and hopefully it'll help me to get some better lines. Not happy with that end, not particularly happy about that end. Let's just see if we can sort it. I was hoping to make these snowflakes, but they are closing up, which is not what I wanted. However, I shall try a little bit of white paint on them and see how they go. Okay, obviously I'm going to need to leave that to dry until I can at least turn it round one side and do another bit. So I need that to go tacky dry, and then we'll do a bit more. Right, in the meantime, I shall put that outliner all together in this pot. Hopefully that'll stop it from drying out until I need to use it next time. Okay, I shall carry on when that's dry, do the other sections, and then we'll take a look at the painting. So I finished off all the outlining I wanted to do, all the extra bits and lines. Small tip here, I had a problem doing these snowflakes, I suppose they are. They kept on closing up. So in the end, I let them close up, waited for it to dry slightly, and then just made the hole in the middle when it was semi-dry. Not completely dry, obviously you won't be able to do it then, but made the hole in the middle when they were semi-dry, and that seems to have worked much better than trying to fiddle around with little teeny bits of outlining. Okay, time to start painting. You'll notice I've already done the black on here. I think that's all the black. I did make sure it was basically level before I do it, and I've also got my light board underneath so I can check. Plug that in. We'll be able to check that I'm getting right up to the edges. I'm not going to leave it on all the time, but I will put it on as I've done the colours and make sure it's okay. So the next colour I'm going to do is red. I know roughly where I'm going to do it. I'm actually using, and only because I've got quite a lot of it left, the sort of paprika colour. It's close to red. It's a sort of reddy orange. I'm just using normal flood fill techniques, which should ensure I get a nice smooth finish. Now I'm going to have to take this very slowly, do a colour at a time, leave it to go tacky dry, do the next colour, and likewise let that go tacky dry. Sometimes you do more than one colour because they're not next to each other. And then I'll have to let the whole side go dry, probably overnight, before I turn it around to do the next side. That means it's going to take at least 4 days to do, possibly a little bit longer, so I've got edges, etc. There we go, that's all the red for now. I've decided I'm going to do these bits yellow, so I will do that as well. It's not touching any of the red. Okay, I shall leave that to dry, and I'm going to carry on and do the other bits, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the finishing touches. But the main thing is to take this very slowly, let each one go tacky dry before you do the colour next to it, and let the whole side dry before you turn it round. Well, I've finished the painting. It has taken about 5 days turning it round, doing bits, letting them dry, had the edges to do as well. But I'm quite happy with the result. Some of you might think the design or the colour is a bit heavy. My reasoning behind that was once it's got lights inside, the more colour the better almost. So hopefully that will look nice when there's lights inside. The final couple of bits, I don't know if you can see, I'm hoping you can. I'm just starting to do some little bits of gold. They're just gold dots. I'm going to put all the way around the top, and I'm thinking about this, put either gold or probably black dots around the bottom just to finish it off. After I finish that, I shall leave it for 2 days to completely dry, and then I'll put it in the oven for the recommended time. I'm just doing these dots straight from the outliner tube, as you can see here. I'm not marking them or anything, I'm just doing it by eye. But this is going to take me a fair while, so I'll get on and do this, let it dry, put it in the oven, bake it, and then we'll come back at the end. And this is the end. I got a little blue tack there, don't worry, I've taken the light out just for now. I should be putting that back in a bit. But as you can see, the piece is finished. I'm very happy with it. It looks nice in the light, looks nice in the dark with the lights in. Each side is 2 designs put on twice. These dots have worked well and they're sticking well. It has been in the oven now. This is the light which I bought, which just comes off eBay. Switching it off would probably be a good idea. There we go. It's a solar one, this one. You can get battery ones as well. Just feed the lights down in. And I have found a small smidge of blue tack does actually help it stay in there better. Perhaps a little bit more than that. That's with the lights in. Because it's oven baked paints, this should go outside no problem at all, and with the little solar light on there, it should charge up during the day. Okay, well that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoy this project, and we have got other Christmas projects on the site and on our YouTube channel. Please do go and visit our site if you're watching this on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel and maybe join one of our Facebook groups, and where you can ask any questions you've got. Happy crafting!